And Assalamualaikum, very good morning to our lecturers, Ms. Shahira and my fellow friends. So for today, we will be present mini research proposal, which is the title is Bullying Among Secondary School Students in Malaysia, Reasons and Why It's Happened. 1.0 Introduction. So what's bullies means? Bullies is a superfluous, tedious, as well as catastrophic behaviorism, also the ability that ruled by the attitude of student itself. Okay. Second, bullying can cause damage to the victim, such as go through series of physical and emotional abuse, such as taunting and mocking. Second one, a bully always often targets at the powerless students from a certain clique and make the bullied students afraid to go to school. The fourth one, some of the bullies also got to be a bully since they might have been a victim of bullying. The last one, victims also suspected from severe depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, failure of sleep, headache, difficulty during their college, and lower academic qualification. The next slide. 2.0 Statement of Problem. The bullying event may happen when there is envious feelings toward the victims. The second one. When the bullying victims are shy and looks pathetic, this will just add them with low performance in school, and the victims will try to avoid school on purpose. The third one, the bullies who are popular tend to feel like they have their rights to bullies because of the victims that look very weak, small, do not look violent, and do not have power towards anything. The last one, the victims are usually victimized because of their looks, beauty, body shame upon the standard beauty that been put at.
Okay, moving on to the next slide. That is 3.0 research objective and questions. Research objective is to analyze the cause of bullying among secondary school students aged 14 until 17 years old. The second one is to evaluate the reason why bullying happened in between these ages. For the research question, what is the main reason leads to bullying among secondary school students aged 14 until 17, and why does bullying happen among secondary school students aged 14 until 17 years old only? Moving on to the next slide. 4.0 Research, Gap and Significance of Studies. Internationally, a great work has been done on this article, which is the bullying facts in school and why they have the courage to bully other students. But however, not much work has been done on this kind of issue among the female student. It only include the male student. And this study will contribute all the parties, such as especially teachers and parents, and is to provide necessary action to lower the possibilities that could keep these students from being bullies and bullying other kids. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, the limitation of studies. It is only required a secondary school student in Malaysia. The outcome from this research should not be appealed for only infer a certain number of amount of age to exclusively involve the entire community in Malaysia. The research had been done with qualitative motion used as the interview technique, and also it is less than 10 contributors that shows that it would not be able to represent the larger amount of students in Malaysia. Moving on.
Alright, moving to the 6.0 methodology. The participant and setting. The participant and setting took place in Puncak Alam, Selangor, Ulumut, Perak, and also Hulu Langat. The research was done by people from age between 14 to 31. 15 students were selected as participants. Moving to the next one.
Okay, the next slide is data collection procedure. So where does they collect the data? Through the first one is through online survey via WhatsApp, and several questions in 5 categories had been asked for, such as number 1, general questions, number 2, school performance, number 3, mental issues, number 4, overpower personality, and the last one, number 5, school's environment.
Moving on to the next one. This is the example question that we asked for the age categories. For the first one is general question. How old are you? What is your gender? What is your race? And have you ever got bullied? And for the school performance, that influence of friends can make students get involved in bullying. Do teachers are responsible to prevent bullying in school? Weak personality of student can easily get involved into bullying. For the mental issues, do you think family conflict can make students under pressure? And too much responsibilities can lead to bullying. For the overpower personality, jealousy can lead to bullying. And do you think thirst of popularity can lead to bullying in school? For the last categories, which is school environment, the question is, does competitiveness can lead to bullying in school? Lack of conversation between family can lead to bullying, and school and peace bullying doesn't help at all.
Next, we'll be moving on to the results and discussion. This online survey has 3 sections, which is Section A, B, and C. For Section A is demographics questions. It's like a general question for respondents to answer, such as for their age, their gender, and race. For Section B and C are based on our RQ1 and RQ2. These 2 sections have multiple choices question and fill up questions. It is to compare respondents' opinion regarding bullying among secondary school students. It is to compare because every respondents have different opinion regarding bullying. Some respondents agree and disagree. Some statements that we provided in the online survey. For the fill up questions, they have to fill it up based on their opinion on and what are they thinking about the questions. Like, is it logic? Is it make sense? They also have to state one reason for their answer.
Okay, so I will start with the first research question 2. Do you think family conflict can make the student feel under pressure? So, let's take a look at the answers together. Person A says that yes, because they lack of attention from their family. So, person A is trying to say that when a student is lacking of attention, they cause trouble at school, they bully someone, so that their parents will give all of their attention to them. So that is why this kind of problem happened. Moving on to the person B, they said because it is a pressure. It is understandable because in order to be a good student, you need to study in a positive atmosphere, positive environment, and all. So, moving on to the person C, they said that yes, the argument and unhealthy vibes students had at home is stressful enough for them. They may have problems to focus on studying. So, person C is trying to say that when there is a conflict in a family, their emotion, their minds is distracted when they wanted to study. The vibes that they get from this is not a good one. So, moving on to the person D, they said that yes, because it will affect the student relationship with their family. So person D is saying that it will affect the relationship with the family, because family love will help student to learn better. It will help the student mind to accept all the teaching stuff that they get. So person E is saying that they will forget the important things, the thing that they have studied, because their mind is so full of negative things that they can't even focus on the thing that they are learning. So moving on to the last person, which is person F, they said yes, because family problem could make you feel not worth it or give up on the study. So person F thinks that family conflict will make them feel useless. Uh, they they feel like it is their fault, and eventually they will give up on their dreams. They will give up on their studies, and they will feel useless because the people who they love does not care for them. So let's move on to the next research question 2. Do teachers responsible to prevent bullying in school? Are they responsible? Okay, let's start off with person A. They said yes, because it is their responsible to give a safety surrounding and aware of their student well-being in school. So person A is saying that teacher is responsible because they know how their student behave in school, because the way student behave in school is different from the way they behave in front of their parents. Okay, next, person B, they said that yes, because student can be lost how to act, which they require help. So person B is saying that teachers need to guide students and shape them into the good person. Okay, moving on to the person C. They answered yes, they are closest to student and most bullying cases happen at school. So person C is trying to say that teacher is one of the closest person to the student, because some students think that teachers are the second parents or the parents at their school. So, and bullying often happen at school because it is easier for bullies to find someone to bully because they are not under guidance of their parents. Okay, next, person D says that yes, they need to observe them more. So person D is trying to say that teachers need to monitor their student because at school, the one who is in charge of the student is the teacher. So the teacher needs to mend the kids' behavior. Moving on to the person E, they said that yes, because sometimes students are closer with their teachers more than their parents. So person E is agreeing that students sometimes prefer to talk to their teacher. They prefer to open more to the teacher, and they often ask for comforts from the teacher. Next, moving on to the person F. They answered yes, because teacher always sees the students 5 times in a week. So person F is trying to say that students stay under the teacher's guidance around 12 to 14 hours a day. So teacher is responsible to the student when they are in school. They are responsible to teach them this kind of thing. They are responsible to take care of them. Okay, so we'll be moving on to the last research question 2. Does exam competitiveness lead to bullying in school? So person A says that yes, because they want to compete who is the cleverest in school in their class. So person A is trying to say that student is competitive when it comes to academic. They wanted to compete on who's the most intelligent in the school, in their class, and they did not want to be downgraded by their friends or anyone around them. So moving on to person B answers, they're jealous because their friends are better than them. So person B is trying to say that they think envy is a big thing. So student tends to think that someone is better than them, and they do not want that. They do not want to be looked down by people around them. So moving on to the person C's answers. They answered, yes, in order to get full marks, they bully the smartest one. So usually in school, the smartest one, which is called the nerds, always get bullied because the bullies would rather cheat from them to have full marks than to study because they want to look cool. Person D is trying to say that students will fight each other and they will get revenge because they want to be on top of the academic list, which is like a jealousy they had because they feel like they didn't do enough. They feel like they could do better, and instead of trying to prove their worth, they bully others because they wanted the others to feel weak. Okay, moving on to the last person, which is person E. They said that yes, if a person cannot beat them in academics, they can always abuse them physically or mentally. So person E is trying to say that even though this student beat them in academics, the bullying will still goes on because they wanted to make this student feel weak.
So in the conclusion, therefore, it could be concluded that bullying among secondary school could affect students' future by using bad words to downgrade someone or manipulate their mind. It is considered as bullying. However, students need to be strong and brave enough to face their bullies and their difficulties, because even if you ask for help, it is you to fight. It is you can fight by yourself, because you cannot depend on someone too much. It has to be half you and half other person. Furthermore, this study shows the reasons of bullying and why does it happen. Even that there is many cases and investigation that have been done, still bullying cases are matter in any ages despite what surroundings that person in.